Hello guys, this video is about quadratic formula. So let's just first look at the equation that we have. We have 2x squared minus 7x minus 13 equals negative 10. And as you probably know, we have to have this equation in standard form and equal to 0. Okay, so let's just first rewrite it in standard form and make it equal to 0. So first of all, if you want to make this equal to 0, notice we have a negative 10, so you want to add positive 10 to both sides. In other words, you want to take the negative 10, move it to the right side of the equation and make the sign positive. So with this, we're going to get 2x squared minus 7x and minus 13 plus 10 is negative 3 equal on the right side, minus and plus 10 is 0. Okay, now we want to check whether this is in standard form, and yes, we do have this equation in standard form. So first of all, when would I use quadratic formula? If I want to factor this left side of the equation, let's say I'm gonna get a, c on the top and b on the bottom, and I'm gonna get negative 6 here and negative 7. So we need two numbers that would multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 7. When you try different numbers, you will realize that you cannot factor this with integers. Okay, so in this case, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the quadratic formula because we wanna get the x-intercepts or roots, and this is a formula that will allow us to find those. Okay, so let me just erase this part and we can use the quadratic formula to factor. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna use the formula. And first thing I like to do, I like to write the frame for the formula. So everywhere where we have the variables, I'm just gonna write parentheses because that is the place where I'm gonna put the variables. So I have for b squared minus 4, this is gonna be a, this is gonna be c divided by 2 times a. So now I want to factor, not factor yet, but what I want to do is actually I want to label. So this is A, B, and C. I want to label the coefficients, and this is the reason why we want to have those in standard form. And now we're going to substitute the coefficients for A, B, and C. So here is negative b, so negative 7 plus and minus negative 7 squared minus 4 times a, 2, and negative 3 is gonna be c, divided by 2a, 2 times 2. All right, so now we're going to evaluate. A negative 7 is positive 7. We have plus and minus square root, and make sure the square root is all over those numbers. Sometimes students just write square root over here in this section, but then don't write it over here. So you have everything, the whole discriminant is under the square root. Okay, so negative 7 squared, 49, and we have a negative 4 times 2 times negative 3. So negative times negative is positive, and 2 times 3, 6 times 4, 24. Okay, so now divided by 4 equals, we still have something to evaluate, so let's just keep evaluating. We have 7 plus and minus square root of 49 plus 24. We have 49 plus 24 is gonna equal 73 divided by 4. And at this point, we can try to see whether we can simplify square root of 73, but looks like we cannot. So we're gonna leave it in this form. And at this point, we can actually split this into two different expressions, so, or roots. We have 7 plus square root of 73 divided by 4. And then we have 7 minus square root of 73 divided by 4, okay? So this plus and minus will tell you that one answer is plus and one answer is minus, okay? All right, so now if the problem is asking for exact answer, so this would be the exact answer. If it's asking for decimal, like let's say round your answers to nearest hundreds, then you will have to evaluate further and you would have to write it with 2 decimal places. So let's actually evaluate and see what we get, okay? So for the first one, we would get approximately 3.89 to 2 decimal places. And for the second, we would get 7 minus square root of 73 divided by 4. We get negative 0.39 approximately. So negative 0.39. Okay, so what are those answers actually? So those answers are the x-intercepts or roots. Basically, those are the solution to the quadratic equation. And let's say over here we would have negative 0.39 approximately. Over here we would have, let's say, 3.89. The y-intercept is gonna be negative 3, and then we would graph this parabola. Oh, this is like really bad graph. So we would graph it so that it goes through the x-intercepts. Okay, let's say this is a 3.89 and here is negative 0.39. Okay, how do I know that negative 3 is the y-intercept? Well, if you substitute for x a 0, because if you have a negative 3 y-intercept, then x is 0. If you substitute 0 for x, the y is gonna be negative 3. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you like this video.